Good evening everybody, welcome back to a Chart Nerd technical analysis video. Today we will be discussing Telcoin. The ticker is TEL against USDT. I'm on the 4-hour time frame. So a little bit more zoomed in today, and I just wanted to give a breakdown and explain why I still think there is further downside for a lot of potential altcoins at this time in the cycle. So we noticed that already, Bitcoin's been hovering around the higher 60Ks, whilst altcoins have been literally capitulating and some of them just absolutely pooping themselves. So we are still in this downtrend, and the trend is your friend until the end, until we start invalidating the downtrend and showing signs of reversal. So right now, why I still think there's more downside is because if you look at the 4-hour, we had this previous level of support, which is our current resistance now. Okay, and this previous support was back here in June, and we held this level of support. We came in, put a high, but eventually faded down, and we lost this previous level of support in June, which is why it's now our local resistance. So the way that it works, you literally trade between support and resistance. So this was previous support, the support was lost, we put in a new low, and from this low we ran back into this previous support and confirmed this is our resistance point. So it's a very strong level of resistance right now between 0.0021 and 22, and this is our current resistance level. If we was to have started flipping this trend and reversing this downtrend, we would have had to have got above this resistance, been holding this resistance and looking to flip the switch and reverse the trend. But this hasn't happened on the 4-hour. We came up to resistance here at the first point on the 15th of July, came back down towards our support zone. Okay, right here we fell just shy, had another go at this resistance, but equally met it as a second time. Now what we did on this second time was put in a lower high to the previous high on the first attempt of resistance, and this indicated, once this happened, depleting buying pressure. Now what we was looking to do is come back to this support level around here and hold this as support. Okay, this is what we needed to do to invalidate any further downside, but we failed to now hold this level of support, and we've lost it, and we're running into it as resistance. So unless we see Telcoin start getting back above 0.00185, if we don't get back above this and we do sort of hover around it and keep hitting our heads on this resistance, I would expect another wave back down to this white trend line. Now, why do I say this white trend line? Well, if we get a Fibonacci on from the high that we're retracing from up here, back down to this level of support, back down to our key level of support, these lows, what you'll notice is that the 1618 actually ties up with this white trend line, this ascending trend line I've got here. So we're going to get down here is a rough price. If we come to this crossroads, 0.0016. Now hear me out. So zooming out to the weekly time frame, I've mentioned in previous videos that TEL has this multi-year ascending level of support, that each time we've come down to this trend line, we've had relief. So right now, I do believe we're on the smaller time frames, we're in a smaller pattern here, which is bringing us back down to this ascending trend line. And why I'm saying this 1618 target here is so important, because we've lost this local support from back here on the 8th of July, and we're starting to push below it. Right now, the next target is the 1272, which we've nearly wicked to already. Failing to hold that, you've got 0.0016, which is the 1618 target, and equally this multi-year ascending trend line that I was just showing you guys, where each time we come down to this level, we've seen really positive signs. Okay, so right now we are coming back to this key level of support, I think, to the 1618 target, from this high back to this low, down to ascending support. At this point, start building a base and then looking to flip the switch and start reversing this sort of downtrend we've been in. Because I've mentioned many a time as well that I think what this is from this key level of resistance is a potential A, B, and right now we've just got this really elongated C, which is pulling us back down to this multi-year ascending support level. And at this point, we need to hold this, guys. Really and truly, this level of support needs to hold for Telcoin. It really does need to hold. Because if you start losing this and hitting your head on it, we've just lost support of multi-years, and we could be in for a really sort of nasty pullback here, failing to hold it. So what this could be, as I've said, is a 1, a 2, and this is a 3 to support. And we have to hold here and build this sort of range and come up and start building higher lows along this level and looking to attempt these previous highs which we've come down from. That would be the bullish case. Failing that, we potentially have got this 1, 2, this is a 3 back down to support, a 4, and then potentially a 5 where we actually lose this support, and it wouldn't look too good at this point. To get a prediction of this wave 5, we potentially get a fib back on from here, and I think we could see a retest on this wave 5 of the local low back here in this wick that actually hasn't been filled in from the 25th of December of 23. So if we do see any sort of further pullback below this this ascending support line that we need to hold, if we start pushing below it, just look for a retest on these local lows to the left. And at this point, this could be optimal opportunity, because a lot of people think, okay, we're losing multi-year support, but we're just sort of deviating away, and then potentially get your rebound. Okay, so we're either in this large ABC back down to the ascending support, hold that and reattack these highs. If not, and we've got a 1, 2, 3, a 4, if we meet resistance and start pulling back and losing support, we will analyze this moving forward, and I'll try and get some more accurate targets for you. But for now, I think that's mainly everything I wanted to talk about. Lastly, on the weekly, the Gaussian channel. This is also another key tool. Okay, because what happened is when you're underneath the red bands of the Gaussian and you're in the red zone, you can see you're underneath the Gaussian, you're in this downtrend. Okay, you're in the downtrend until you start getting back into this channel. Recently, we got back above it, great sign, and we came back to the top band right here, but we put in a lower high, and ever since we've been coming back to this mid band of the Gaussian channel. Now, if I zoom in here a little bit, what I wanted to show you that was quite important is once you start losing these bands of support, so what you'll notice is we broke out of this top band, put in the high, came back to the top band for support, put in a lower high at this point from this high, and then fell into the middle band right here, which is right where we are now. So just zooming in, you'll see that we had this loss of the mid band, we rallied back into it, and right now we're being pushed down. So we've had the top retest of the band, we've had the retest of the middle band. The next target for me is this lower band regression channel, where as this Gaussian starts to creep up, I think we potentially come down and retest the lower band of the Gaussian. Very similarly to we came up to the top here, we came back down to the lower band of the Gaussian, deviated a little bit, and then broke out. Right now, I think we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially a 5 down to the Gaussian channel, losing the support, deviating a little bit, and then potentially we get the recovery. Okay, or it's just this A, B, C straight down to the lower band of the Gaussian and to this ascending level of support that I've been speaking to you about as well. So something to keep an eye on. Get the Gaussian charts on your channel. If we keep closing below this middle band of the Gaussian, do expect this lower band to be met at some point. Okay, so keep that in mind, along with this ascending support that we've been holding for multi-years that I keep speaking about too. And hopefully this is where we find the low ball out for Telcoin. Just remember, okay, even at these points, you can come back into these parts here. Remember, we are bullish off these lows because we've broken out above the Gaussian. We're just coming back for a key level of support. That's all it is right now. We're just looking for that key level of support. It's just finding out whether it's this ABC and we lowball out here, or potentially if we've got a 1, 2, a 3, a 4, and then a 5 where we actually deviate away back to the Gaussian and then hopefully get our relief and come back into this channel. So I hope you enjoyed the content today, guys, and it wasn't too confusing. From Chart Nerd TA, take care. Peace out.